This is something someone sent me. I'll have a link to it in the description. I actually don't know how this is gonna be, so it'd be cool to look at, but seems like a pretty interesting guide so far. It talks about flying held magnet, which I think is something that Ness does where he does side magnet and he can get like 2 hits off of it or something like that. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, he gets 2 hits. That's crazy. That was all guaranteed.
On Twitter the day Ness got buffed, you probably saw the clip I just showed you, and you probably have a lot of questions and a lot of doubts about the viability of this combo route. At the time of posting, I didn't have a reliable way to test all the possibilities with DI, SDI,
Timmy,
and buffered options, so I didn't provide anything at the time. However,
thank you for the 18 months.
I was able to test everything I needed in order to make myself knowledgeable enough to talk about this, so I decided to make this guide. I discovered the flying magnet and its combo potential about a year ago, and all the labbing I've done with this since then has led me to this moment where I get to share everything.
Right.
I'm going to explain how to execute this tech, setups, combo routes, and limitations of this tech. Without further ado,
Jesus, wait, hold on. I want to look at that again. How did he get that hit?
I'm going to explain how to execute this tech,
he does up air,
combo routes, and limitations of this tech.
That's crazy.
Ado, let's begin.
Got all that from a falling up air at 0.
Before we can get into the tech, we need to talk about how Ness's magnet actually works. It has an initial hit off frame 7 to 12 of the move that combos into Ness's aerials very reliably, but if you hold the magnet, it'll generate another hitbox every 20 frames.
Wow, okay.
Thus, if you input a magnet with good momentum and hold the special button down, both hits will link into each other. The second hit has much more frame advantage than the first due to being able to let go of the magnet the instant the second pulse connects. If you watch Ruski Nerd's tutorial on multi-mags, he uses this property to carry the opponent across the stage with repeated double jump canceled held magnets.
Basically, Ness can wave shine. That's basically what we're getting from this. Okay, that's actually really cool. I didn't know that. I didn't know that if you hold the magnet, another hitbox comes out. So that's really good. And the second hit has more frame advantage. So that means that if you can get the second hit of a magnet, it's almost always better to go for it because of that reason. That's pretty crazy.
You might have seen him briefly go over the frame 1 double jump canceled magnet variant in his guide, and this is exactly what I'm going to talk about in depth. Frame 1 double jump canceled magnet, or flying magnet as I like to call it, is a frame perfect technique, and I know that doesn't sound good, but trust me when I say that it'll become second nature with a bit of practice. To input this, you need to hold forward and press jump on one frame, and press special while rolling the stick downwards on the very next frame. If done correctly, Ness should get a momentum boost diagonally forward and up with his PSI magnet. The amount of momentum you get will depend on what direction your stick was pointing during the jump. So if you simply held down and forward the entire time, you won't get as much momentum as if you held hard forward during the jump.
Okay.
Having max momentum is the key to making these combos consistent no matter how well your opponent SDIs the magnet. You can also turn around, be reversed, and wave bounce the magnet exactly as you would with a normal double jump cancelled magnet. To combo into the second hit of magnet, simply hold down the special button until the second pulse comes out. Then release the special button as soon as possible, similar to how you would execute multi-mags. However, with this tech, the opponent will have to be in the air for both hits to connect.
Okay, so basically, I don't know how hard that is to do, just because like I've never practiced it as Ness, but basically what it seems like is that if you're just like doing it the lazy way where you hold like down and forward when you do your side magnet, you're not going to be able to optimize the combo, so you have to practice holding like completely horizontally in order to get it.
First, let's talk about how you can set up in the flying magnet. The elephant in the room here is falling up air at low percents. You'll have to adjust yourself based on how they DI. You'll have to dash forwards a bit on DI out before jumping, and you'll have to jump slightly back on DI in. It's usually not feasible to react to the DI though. It's more optimal to read the way they DI due to how large the angle difference is. The tricky part here is making sure that you get a flying held magnet with the maximum momentum regardless of how you respond to the DI, which again is done when you're holding straight forwards when you jump. Another good setup into flying held magnet is fair at low to mid percents. On certain characters you can confirm into flying held magnet regardless of how they DI, however most characters only get hit by one pulse on proper DI. It's also good to know that this is the only way to reliably link fair into magnet, as most of the time when you see fair to magnet, it's not done in a way that guarantees the hit. If you do a flying magnet after fair, the combo will be guaranteed at around the same percent ranges as fair to fair. Whether or not you'll be able to combo into a second hit magnet will depend on the character and the way the opponent DIs.
Oh, okay.
Dare at mid percents is also a feasible setup into this tech, and it works on everyone except Pichu. The problem with this setup is that it's hard to land and you have to hard read the DI. You dash forwards and input Flying Magnet on DI out, backflip and input Flying Magnet on no DI, and you have to dash back and B-reverse Flying Magnet on DI in. Because of how quickly you have to input one of these, it's really hard to react to all of the DI reliably. So you most likely have to anticipate the way they're DIing and preemptively cover it if you want to get Flying Magnet out of it. You're most likely going to be getting Dare out of things like platform tech chases and air dodge reads.
So it feels like up air is the most reliable way to like consistently get that combo.
What I'm going to be talking about is double jump canceled PK Fire. Depending on how floaty the character is, you can confirm into an instant flying held magnet. This will work regardless of DI and SDI, however on fast followers it won't work on the ground. PK Fire on the platform also confirms into drop down flying magnet, opening up opportunities to get this out of platform tech chases. Now, obviously, there are more setups here than what I've just described, but these are the setups that you will most likely be hitting the opponent with in an actual match.
Yeah, so basically what I'm seeing, I think that landing up air is the most consistent way to do it. Landing up air just seems really easy because you don't have, or the opponent doesn't really have the option to be able to go behind you, because up air always sends the opponent in front, so if they DI in, they'll go straight up, which seems pretty good. Oh yeah, you're right. PK Fire also seems pretty good, but at least from what I'm seeing, it's more character dependent. Like, he said it doesn't work on fast fallers. So the fact that that doesn't work on fast fallers as consistently means that up air overall is better. But yeah, against other characters that don't fall out of the PK Fire setup, it's really, really good.
Flying Magnet has much more.
Send it after I finish this, by the way.
The second hit. This allows us to combo into every aerial and PK Fire on most characters. Depending on what you follow up with, you can combo into another flying held magnet. The most basic combo route is what I like to call the Flying Man combo. You start with the landing up air, then you follow up with a flying held magnet into another falling up air, follow the DI on the up air and perform another flying held magnet. After that, combo it into Dare to kill the opponent. Before the patch, held magnet to Dare only worked on characters Zelda and lighter, but thanks to the 9.0 patch removing 2 frames from the startup of Ness's Dare, it works on most of the cast. However, select few characters have options to get out of the Dare setup. More on that later. You don't have to lead into the flying held magnet with up air though. You can use any setup into it and the combo will connect. Depending on the character, you may also need to do an extra loop of this in order to make this combo actually kill. On floaty characters, you can combo the flying held magnet into PK Fire and string that into another flying held magnet and, well, you get the point.
That's crazy.
This can go on as long as you like and you can finish it with the flying held magnet to Dare as usual. PK Fire is also the same frame as Dare, so the characters that can get hit by held magnet to Dare also get hit with held magnet to PK Fire. This isn't always feasible to land in a real match, however. Your inputs must be near perfect for this to be inescapable with perfect DI and SDI, and the full combo only works on floaty characters. On anyone else, you'll most likely be hitting one loop of this into a follow-up out of PK Fire.
Damn, so basically the Dare buff just really helped out Ness, because it made that confirm that much more consistent on most of the cast.
Chances are, in a real match, you won't always be able to fish for the death combo, as competent opponents will be mixing up their DI well and making it
that like a while ago.
Thus, it's important to know about other combo variations that you can do out of this tech. Again, Flying Held Magnet can combo into every aerial and PK Fire, and you can combo those into most of Ness's kit. Essentially, you can use Flying Held Magnet to combo into whatever you want. The only limit here is your imagination. Here are a few sample combos to give you some ideas of what kinds of combos this technique opens up for us.
Man, versus like DK and other characters that have like slower air dodges, this looks horrible. Like, this looks like they're just screwed. Okay, that was kind of funny looking. Yep, the wave shine.
So we know that flying held magnet combos into almost anything.
Wolf has a frame 2 air dodge.
What can't it do? Well,
so,
as
yeah.
I said earlier, held
his
magnet
is like one of the faster
doesn't
ones.
work on certain characters. Characters heavier than Ganon can air dodge out. Incineroar can use revenge. Luigi can characters heavier than Ganon can air.
I'm assuming this has to do with like, I think this has to do with the character weight, because if I'm not mistaken, characters that are like heavier, they're in less hit stun. So I'm assuming this is why DK can air dodge out, because his air dodge is like the worst in the game, frame data wise, I'm pretty sure. If you don't include Bayonetta, since Bayonetta has bats within. Yeah, it's kind of weird that DK can air dodge out.
Earlier, held magnet to dare doesn't work on certain characters. Characters heavier than Ganon can air dodge out. Incineroar can use revenge. Luigi can cyclone. Shotos can use focus. Yoshi can double jump out. Ivysaur and Charizard can switch out, and Pichu, well, Pichu.
Most characters can air dodge out? I thought, okay, Vital, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that change made it so that you can't air dodge out. And then, if I'm not mistaken as well, he also said that Dare and Side B are the same frame, so yeah. I could see Fair and Bear being true, but yeah.
Pichu. This also means that held magnet to PK Fire won't connect on these characters as well, excluding Luigi because Cyclone loses to multi-hits. Those characters aside, getting combos like this on fast followers, like Foxy or Ninja, while not impossible, is very unforgiving. Your positioning with the flying magnet must be near perfect for both hits to connect, and off stage it's really hard to connect Dare out of it. It's also really hard to input this tech at all without custom controls if you're using a GameCube controller, as the jump and special buttons are somewhat far apart on default controls and it would require insane finger speed to execute this correctly. To make this easier, you can either set a trigger to jump or special, or set your C-stick to specials, both of which require sacrifices that may not be worth it for GameCube controller users. If you use a Pro controller, default controls should work just fine, but a special on a trigger will make it less stressful on your hands, and given that you probably don't use all 4 shoulder buttons in your gameplay, I highly recommend setting one of these to special moves. So, after all this, you're probably wondering, what does this mean for the future metagame? In my opinion, this actually doesn't change anything drastically. Ness already has an amazing combo game and amazing advantage state. The way I see it, this is a major upgrade on something that Ness was already good at to begin with, and it doesn't exactly cover up his weaknesses as a character. What this does mean though is that neutral versus Ness will have to be played differently, as a Ness player that has mastered this technique can deal tons of damage or even kill off of a good opening, regardless of the percent. This will lead to the opponent having to play a lot more passively so that they don't commit hard enough for the Ness player to get this combo started, which can lead to better conditioning and baiting on the Ness's end. The fact that Ness can combo his opponents to oblivion means that his fear factor in neutral will be much stronger than before. However, Ness's bad matchups will most likely stay that way, as the reason why he loses those matchups is mostly unrelated to his combo game and advantage state. This is ultimately what I meant when I said that this doesn't drastically change Ness's performance in the current meta. However, it makes him much more of a pain to play against than before.
I kind of disagree. I think I know what he means, but I definitely feel like if someone were to perfect that tech, it would make Ness considerably more annoying, because I think it's like a more consistent way to corner carry the opponent rather than going for fair strings, because this just feels like it'll be more consistent to do at like higher percents than fair strings. But I do think setting up for it's actually like, setting up for it could be like more difficult. All right, Vital, send the link. Also, I'm gonna post the link in here.
And then cancelling it with a side magnet. As soon as you input your side magnet, roll the left stick from the downwards position to the forward, so you move forward with your side magnet. Wait for the second tick of side magnet to connect, and then just repeat this process, and there's the infinite. Each loop does about 9% and will drag your opponent partly across the stage.
How is this an infinite? This is just like, does he go on the other side of them? If he does not go on the other side of them, then...
Shoutouts to Tone Smash for discovering this tech. I will put the original video of him discovering the tech in the description. Side Magnet actually has set knockback, so this combo will work at any percent.
I'm out of here. I feel like I got scammed. It's not a bad video. It's also short. The actual infinite Alright, green. I'm trusting you. This might actually be it. It's only 11 seconds long, too. Wait a minute. Damn, I think that's actually an infinite. Cause I think he had the computer buffering forward smash or whatever. All right. Well, I don't know if that actually works. I don't know if you could DI out of it or not, because you could probably just DI into the PK Fire and get the hits. But yeah, I don't know. That's definitely sick. That's definitely pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's like a true 100% infinite, but at least it looks cool. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this Ness showcase. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. Also, let me know in the comments if there's any other character you want me to highlight, or if you have any videos you want me to check out that have cool tech like this. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.